ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. In the Beit HaMikdash, in the temple in Jerusalem, there were daily sacrifices. But there were also different types of sacrifices in addition to the daily ones that were done for the entire people. People who committed a mistake, committed a sin, but he did it inadvertently. He didn't mean to do it. He could come to the Beit HaMikdash and offer a sacrifice to expiate his sin. Of course, you cannot do that intentionally. You can't go and do something wrong and then say, I'm going to go to the Beit HaMikdash and offer a sacrifice and thereby become free of my sin. No, that is only when you do it without intention, by mistake. So one can ask, if it's by mistake, why do you have to bring a sacrifice? Well, one can reason also, mistakes are not absolute either. In other words, I ate something that is forbidden. I didn't know it was forbidden. But maybe I should have been more cautious. I should have asked before, is this permissible for me or is it not? Maybe during the holiday of Passover, we just finished Passover, I ate something that is chametz, that I shouldn't eat on that festival. Well, if it was inadvertently, without intention, I didn't mean to do it, I can offer a sacrifice. But if I meant to do it, there are no sacrifices that will whitewash whatever I did wrong. There were also sacrifices that people brought out of gratitude. I remember once a friend of mine telling me that a couple came to visit him. I think I mentioned that story to you also. And he said, well, what is your problem? And they said, Rabbi, we have no problem. So what is it, the issue? What are you talking about? Well, Rabbi, lately, everything that is happening to us is for our benefit. Too much good, and we are afraid maybe something is wrong somewhere because everything is coming out great, and this is not normal either. In other words, people out of gratitude also offer the sacrifice to God, recognizing that God is responsible for much of the good that is happening in their life. There was one sacrifice called Olah that was burned completely on the altar, because many of the other sacrifices, parts of the animal were eaten by the Kohanim, parts were eaten by the donor of the animal, but there was a Korban Olah that was entirely incinerated on the altar. But of course, after the incineration, ashes remained. So there was a Kohen that was in charge of removing the ashes of that sacrifice. That gave me a thought. Here is what is the purest of sacrifices, and at the end you have ashes. It made me think, the best of deeds maybe leave ashes also. You don't feel well, you go to the doctor. He prescribes something for you. It helps you with one thing, but there are ashes. It does something else in a different part of your body that you didn't expect. Sometimes you do something good, but there is a little bad that goes with it, because in this world, you don't have black and white. You have shades of gray. So how do we judge things? We judge it by probabilities, by percentages. If it is 80% good, we say it's good. But 100% good, that is only for angels. That is in a different world. In the real world, everything has some negative aspects to it also. So therefore I can also conclude, if something bad is happening to you, remember, there may be something good that accompanies it also. Why don't you inspect it? Why don't you reflect upon what happened to you? Many a time a challenge that you consider is very negative for you because you wanted to achieve something and there was an impediment. But maybe that impediment had a purpose. It taught you something. So bear in mind, things in this world are very complicated. Don't be very fast. Don't be rapid in judging things. There may be some very good when you have a challenge in front of you.